So one of the major things I get asked a lot is, what is my best trading time frame? My response is quite different from most people. So for me, I trade every single time frame, which might come as a surprise to some people. But my understanding is we are doing price and time analysis, and the time frame you are trading is a representation of price in different forms, right? So I know what I'm looking for, and I look at all the time frames to see what I'm looking for. I mean, one thing that is good in trading one time frame is you build consistency. You can see the same pattern happening most of the time. So if you are just starting up and you're a beginner, it is best to stick to one time frame. Get to know how to navigate, understand how price moves, and know how you can navigate yourself through that time frame and master how price moves. But at my level, I am able to navigate through different time frames, and I use it to my advantage. So I know what I'm looking for and what to expect on different time frames. So I use all the time frames and mostly the bigger time frames. I barely go to the smaller time frames. It depends on what I'm trading, especially if I'm trading something like gold, and I'm interested in scalping, which I don't do most of the time. I might go to the lower time frame, but mostly you see me from the 2-hour time frame, right? So here on gold, current price, I'll start from 2-hour time frame, just scan around and see what is going on around me, starting from the 2-hour time frame, 3-hour time frame, just trying to see if something will catch my eye, right? 5-hour time frame, 6-hour time frame, and this is something I do all the time, just trying to spot levels that catch my eye, because one of the major things I trade is based off demand and supply over very specific kind of candlesticks, right? So here I spot a zone here, which is very important on the 7-hour time frame. I mean, that level still is a decent demand if I was on a different time frame, but it makes it easier because now the 7-hour time frame makes it obvious that, okay, this is a decent zone or an area to be looking at. Okay, 9 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours. I mean, right. So here at this point on gold, this 11-hour time frame was a very significant level that if you were on the 11 hours, you could have spotted this zone, right? And that was like a clean tap and push to the upside. And that is why I like to have a look at what is happening on almost all the time frames, right? I mean, it depends on what you trade, really, right? So I can see price coming from gold inside this zone here, which is very significant here, right? 13 hours, so consistent with the 13 hours, 16 hours, consistent with the 13 and the 12 hours. The daily time frame is also consistent, and it's also consistent with this zone here. Then I'll finally look at a 3D time frame. I'll go to the weekly and the monthly when I'm trying to do, even the 3D is when I'm doing an overview of what is going to happen for like a long period of time. But then just by scanning through the time frames, now I see something decent here. I see that, so today is CPI, right? Based on what is happening here, there's a high chance that the CPI is going to drop gold all the way to this level here. Maybe not completely with this, just the CPI move, but this is something that can happen with the CPI and after the CPI, right? And that is a decent, almost 400 pips on gold. And I just did that by scanning through the time frame. And I mean, it depends on what exactly you are trading. It might not work for you. It depends on the strategy. Some strategy wants you to like be on one time frame and look at one specific thing. If that is what you are trading, then that might not really work for you. But for what I trade, I know what I'm looking for, and I scan through all the time frames to identify exactly what I'm looking for. And this is one of the strategies. I trade multiple strategies depending on what I'm looking for and what type of account I'm trading. So yes, in general, if I'm just trading specific kind of strategies, sometimes I stick to one time frame, and the one time frame I stick to is the 4-hour time frame. But even with that, I have a look at the daily to see what is happening on the daily, and then I move to the 4-hour time frame to make my day-to-day trading. So if you want to stick to one time frame, just one time frame only, I suggest that it should be a higher time frame. Don't stick to just 15 minutes time frame. If you want to stick to one time frame, it can be the 4-hour, the 5-hour, the 6-hour. These 3 time frames are very moderate. Like if you're trading the 4-hour time frame, you get 8 candles in a day, which is decent. If you're trading the 5-hour time frame, you get how many candles? 5 candles in a day. Yeah, barely 5 candles. And then if you're trading the 6-hour time frame, you get 4 candles in a day, which is decent. And it would really help you to be patient and not really over trade and all that. So yeah, this is what I do. Again, it depends on the strategy I'm trading, but mostly if I'm scanning the market to look for levels of interest, I look at all the time frame, right? So let me see in the comment section what you think about this, and I'll see you in the next video.